Thank you very much. This lesson goes out to our Spanish 2 students in my class and also at home, remote learners. We're trying something a little bit different today because golly gee, Batman, we got to do something, okay? What I want to do is present to you a lesson that is pertinent to Spanish 2, okay? Lesson 7 vocabulary that we have. And if you need, pause this and get out that sheet right now because I'm going to explain a few things about 2 particular verbs that are always a little bit tricky that we're going to emphasize in Lección 7, Lesson 7, okay? So, follow along with me and pause if you need to, whenever you need to. You may need to see this video more than once, okay? Here we go. In English, we have a verb that is to know. Hey, I know you. Hey, I know where you live, okay? I know how to make Chinese food. That verb is know, okay? And K-N-O-W, to know. All right, to know. He knows, they know everything. We don't know. That's to know, okay? Hey, do you know the governor? I don't know the governor. Anyway, that it is. But in Spanish, we have 2 verbs that mean to know. The difference is you use one in one situation and you use the other in another situation. So it all depends on how you're using the word know, and that's what we're going over, okay? We've got 2 verbs in question. The first one is the verb conocer, okay? Conocer. Say it with me. Conocer. Thank you very much. The other verb is the verb saber, okay? Saber. They both mean to know, but when do you use one and when do you use the other? Okay, here's how it works, okay? For us in English, they both mean to know, but in Spanish, let's take a look at the verb saber first. When do you use saber? Well, when you are talking about. Now, I got to tell you, there are so many rules that get so nitpicky, we're not going to go into those, okay? This concept is one where what you need to do is I'm going to give you very general rules that will get you through 90% of all the situations you may ever have with these verbs, okay? We could become very, very detailed to the point of really making you nuts, and we don't want to do that. So, watch as follows. Let's start with talking about the verb saber, which means to know. What situations do we use that in? Exactly these. When we are talking about anything to know info, okay, to know info. If we know some kind of information, think of it as the information verb, okay? When we know information, or we want to say to know how, to know how. Now, be careful of the second use of this, okay? Because when we say to know how, in English, that's 3 words. To know how. But in Spanish, all you have to do is have the subject, and then the verb that follows it. Those 2 words, and we're going to show you how that works, that means to know how. So think of the how as being just a part of the verb to know. To know how. It's just all contained in the verb saber. Now, don't let that confuse you because in a minute we're going to show you how to conjugate it. We're going to give you some things to practice, okay? So, saber, to know information. Saber, to know how. I know how much money you have. You would use saber. Do you know where Mary lives? Do you know where Mary lives? That's information. Hey, my dad knows how to ski. He knows how to ski. Very good. All right. They know how to speak Chinese. They know how to speak Chinese. That's when we use the verb saber, as opposed to the verb conocer. Come with me. Come with me. Come. Yes. Venga. Venga. Okay. The verb conocer, on the other hand, is a verb that we use when we are talking about knowing personally. All right? Knowing somebody personally, or we would also say to be familiar with. Now, let me explain the difference in these 2, okay? If I am saying, for example, oh, yeah, hey, do you know my cousin? I know your cousin. I know him personally. I'm going to use the verb conocer, okay? if you want to say to be familiar with, this is the one that gets a little bit slip-slidey, but it's not awful, okay? I might ask you, for example, wow, I'm going to Memphis tomorrow. I'm going to Memphis tomorrow. Geez. Do you know Memphis very well? Do you know Memphis very well? You used to live there. Do you know Memphis very well? It means to be familiar with. Think of it that way, okay? Now, because of my age, I don't know anything about rap music. So I would say, oh, wow, I don't know rap music. I'm not familiar with it. I don't know rap music, but boy, I'll tell you what, man, I know classical music. I know classical music. Oh, yeah, exactly. And you know what? I used to live in Spain for a while, so I could tell you something. I know Spain. Oh, yeah, I know Spain. Okay, I know Spain. And I know the address. I know the address of a great restaurant in Madrid. I know a great restaurant in Madrid. That's information. As a matter of fact, the manager's a friend of mine. He's a friend of mine, and I have known him. I have known him for many years. I've known him for many years. Do you see what I'm saying? So, these are the very general rules when we use the verb saber and the verb conocer. So, if you need to pause right now and make a note, little organization, okay, of when you use one versus when you use the other. In a minute, I'm going to give you an assignment on a little exercise that's going to come along with this link that is going to ask you to choose the correct form of these verbs. Now, where's my erasing rag? There it is. No, there it's not. Hang on. Whoops, I'm not prepared to do the show. Hold on a second, I'll get it. Better yet, we'll just use some Kleenex. Okay, now, if I want to conjugate these verbs, all right, they both are what we would call irregular. Now, what does irregular mean? Well, it means it doesn't follow the usual grammar rules. So, for example, I have the verb conocer, which is an ER verb. I have the verb saber, which is also an ER verb. So you would think, looking on your conjugation grid pages, that you could just put the endings, okay? O, S, E, hemos, N. Well, yes and no, okay? The problem with this is both of them in the yo form are irregular. And this is what that means, all right? Now, I want to show you what's wrong, and then we're going to correct it. Let's imagine that the verb saber is completely regular, and all I've got to do is take off the ER, as I always do, and add ER endings to these verbs. What I would have was I would have yo, sabo, tú, sabes, él, ella, usted, sabe, nosotros or nosotras, sabemos, running out of room, ellos, ellas, and ustedes saben. Okay? Now here's the thing. To tell you the truth, for the most part, that's almost completely correct, but the yo form is irregular. It's got a weird thing that it does, okay? Hey, pay attention, I'm talking to you. Okay, come on over here. All right, now, the yo form, the I form is irregular. What that means is it's not sabo. It's never sabo. It's irregular, so therefore it's a word that you would not expect to be there. So when you say, I know, like, I know what street that store is on, okay? I know where the party is, all right? That's information, okay? Or I know how to prepare Italian food. I know how. Or I know information. This is simply yo sé. Yo sé. Everything else is regular. Tú sabes, él, ella, usted sabe. Nosotros sabemos. Ellos, ellas, ustedes saben. But the yo form is irregular, so it is never, never, nunca, jamás. is it yo sabo? Throw that away. Throw it away. It is always yo sé if it's information from the verb saber or to know how. Now, let's take a look at I know how to ski. Let's say I know how to ski. Watch what I'm talking about. I could say yo sé esquiar. Now, if I say yo sé esquiar, this means okay, you have two words contained in this one. Know how to ski. All right? So if you say, how do you say how? The how is contained inside one of these forms of the verb. It means I know or know how. So you don't have an extra word. It's contained right inside of there, okay? Very well. Come over to me to the conocer, which is also irregular, all right? But don't be afraid. Now, we have conocer. Conocer is also irregular, so watch what it does, okay? I've got yo. Let's write it as though it were regular, okay? Yo conozco, which sounds weird. Tú conoces. Él, ella, usted conoce. I always run out of room. Okay, nosotros conocemos. And then you've got ellos, ellas, ustedes conocen. All right? Now, here's the part that's regular about this. Well, no, let's not jump ahead too far. Now, over here we pointed out that the yo is irregular, and it's not sabo, it is yo sé. Over here it does something strange also. See, they decided that yo conozco sounds like you have a stuffed up nose. So they said, nah, we're not going to do that, okay? No yo conozco. We're going to make it sound better, okay? Because Spanish is a beautiful language. So they stuck the letter Z in there, okay? C-O-N-O, Z-C-O. Z-C-O. They decided that they would make Z-C-O the ending because they wanted it to sound better, okay? Yo conozco a tu padre. I know your dad, all right? Hey, ¿tú conoces a mi padre? ¿Tú conoces? You know my dad? ¿Tú conoces a mi padre? Yeah, oh yeah, yo conozco a tu padre. Yo conozco. I know him. Yo lo conozco. I know him. Okay? He knows, él conoce. Nosotros conocemos. We know. Or ellos, ellas, they conocen. Or y'all know. Oh man, you all know, Mr. Hubble. Ustedes conocen al señor Hubble. Yeah, ustedes conocen al señor Hubble. Of course you do. So as we look at the endings for these, okay? We've got the regular endings. We've got O, S, A, hemos, N, okay? Over here, this one doesn't have an O on it, but it's the irregular form, so it's yo sé. And then sabes, sabe, sabemos, saben. So everything is regular except for the yo. The yo is the only thing that is irregular, and you just have to remember that I know with saber is yo sé. I know with the verb conocer is yo conozco, Z-C-O. That, mechanically, is all there is. Okay, that's it. Shazam. That's it. All right. Y'all stand by for our next lesson. For right now, that is the verb conocer and saber. They both mean to know. And what will follow is a link online where I want you to do the exercises, okay? And you do a multiple choice. You'll do a multiple choice practice on which verb you use and what ending do you use with what subject, okay? So you will find that it's not too bad. It will guide you through what you need to know. All right, guys, thank you. It was wonderful teaching you today. That's all I got for right now. All right, stay cool. Adios. Hasta la próxima lección. Until the next lesson, okay? Ciao.